Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors in Winston Chester. Glad you're here this Friday morning, wrapping up a good week here on our show. We appreciate the viewership and all kind of good things going on today. But as always, we'd like to start with our outdoor weather. We don't talk much about our indoor weather, but our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard and hard-working crew taking care of our everyday comfort needs. We're looking at a high today of 91 and a low of 81. We're looking at a water temperature in the pier to 88 degrees. Pretty steady all week. It's gotten up to pretty high, but pretty steady right now. Our river reading is brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola. Take a look at the Apalachicola Bluntstown. Got a little bit of a drop to it. It's reading a 3.5 this morning. The Choctaw at Caryville is reading a 2.7, and you see on the drawing there about what's anticipated for tomorrow's river reading. It's going to be, both rivers going to be low, so be careful if you're getting out on them. Don't go too fast, and always be looking for snags and all. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Good strong tides. We're looking at a high tide at 6:20 this morning. We're about to have a low at 6 o'clock tonight, but it's got a really strong outgoing tide. So that's going to be some good fishing this afternoon if you don't have to work a half a day. Our wind direction coming out of west, southwest at about 12. On Friday, we like to do our fishing game times in this segment, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. Our time this morning, 8:04 to 10:04. This evening, 8:30 to 10:30. And that time this morning is when the tide starts going out, things start moving around like that. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's catch up on our pictures and all. Next week, got some good shows lined up and special guests coming in, and really good week planned for next week, and feel good about this week. So let's go ahead and start with some pictures. This is my buddy, Terry Morris. Terry played for former Bay High star and played tackle for the Gators back in the Steve Spurrier day. He did all that blocking. That's how Steve Spurrier won the Heisman Trophy, because Terry Morris did all the blocking. But his grandson, John Andrew, his first redfish went with Carter and Fred this morning, made Granddaddy proud. I know that was a fun trip right there. We got to get Fred and Carter back on the show, so congratulations. Here is a better picture right here. Now that's cool. Keith and Marlene are his parents, good folks there, and I bet he's going to play ball and fish growing up. All right. Thank you, Terry, for sending that to us. Gigi Hunt from Shipley sent this. Hey, Winston, daughter took this pic of SpaceX launch while they were kayaking. Pretty awesome, huh? I'll say it is. Let's get a blow up right here. Can you imagine seeing that off the kayak? I mean, is that spectacular? The only word I can think of to describe it. Look at that. What a great picture. Thanks for sharing that with us. Okay. This is from Carl Andrews. All right. Now this kind of snake, you call it a coach whip, is what we've always called them. And Carl Andrews, this is, all you do is just go grab them behind the head and just take them out there and throw them back there in the woods. A coach whip. Okay? So remember that. You see why it's got a coach whip? The old coaches, that's why they use the whip for the horses. That's why it's called a coach whip. Now, I really don't know the technical name. My buddy Jerry Forehand, he sent a group of pictures. He's the outdoorsman. Yesterday morning's catch on Apalachicola, fishing a willow fly hatch. Hello, with bass on top water in the same area. So he caught these on the willow flies, and they hatch out all summer, and they caught these on top water. Not a bad week, okay? The last Saturday when he went offshore, now Jerry and his guys, they fish all day. I mean, they fish hard, but look at the results. Is that not some fine fishing? And look at all those fish. Got a 4-man limit there. I know that was fun. That's their own private boat, their own private numbers, and just old school, just going out there catching fish. And here's the grouper he caught. Of course, they had to release those. He said right here, the grouper we released with a descending device on this trip. Maybe we'll catch them again when they're legal. They had a great day with calm seas. You look at the seas behind them. I always look at that. And lately we've had some calm seas. That's been good. All right, a couple more pictures coming up now. Next Saturday, we've had the guys from the Florida Forestry Service talking about the run over there in Port Washington State Park, and it's a fundraiser for Operation Outdoor Freedom, a fun run. You can walk it, but it's over there. That's good deal there. Good, okay. And don't forget, again, 1 week from tonight, Bay County Longbeard Banquet. It'll start at 6 p.m. It'll be at Downtown Methodist Church. Here's Ken Paramore's number, or you can register online. His number is 832-0718. Try to be there. Here's another post on the coach whips. In fact, here it is, coach whips. Haven't seen one in 10 years. Both of these will run over. They'll run over on the east side of Black Creek near the outpost. And you know, we haven't seen them in a while. They made a comeback. You see why they call it how long and skinny they are? It's ironic that today I have 2 different sets of pictures of a coach whip, and these will run over there close to Black Creek. My good buddy Lisa and Donnie Chapman. Donnie's a retired Florida Highway Patrol trooper, and another good day on the river. He's a good fisherman. I'll be glad when the bright moon is going recently. Okay. He brought up a good point about them feeding at night during the moon. This is a little ways off. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the calendar because I'm going to put it on my calendar, and I may try to go to it. I'm going to have more time this fall. And this is the Seasons of Hope and the volunteers needed. The Apalachicola National Forest Trash Cleanup, and we're talking about it every year, about giving back, getting some young people with you, and just walk through there and clean up. You see, it's amazing at the trash they clean up. This is good stuff. And the kids can get volunteer hours too. All right, here we go. Guess what's in my yard again? I thought I'd taken care of them, but here we go. Mr. Raccoon. So I'm looking out the window, holler, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?" He looks at me, and then Gail goes out the other door. Okay, so Gail's mad because, oh, there he goes. And he realizes he's running toward the water and there's no woods down there. So anyway, I'm going to get my old trap back out and take care of the raccoon. But it's funny, they just keep coming back. But I don't disperse of them, but I do remove them to a better location. So it just came in yesterday. So we'll be working on that. I may shoot some video. Maybe this one won't scare me like the other one did. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Moving along real quick, a lot more stuff to cover, and we're also into our fishing forecast and giveaway. But I want to talk, we talked earlier this week about one of our charter boat guys. They lost some bait because the water just got too hot, and these guys are experts at it, and amateurs like us have a bigger challenge, especially the month of August and early September, about keeping live bait live. So I just quickly I want a couple of tips for you. Bait tips, how to keep your bait fish alive and healthy. I just ran across this. This is a pretty decent article. Handle with care. Make sure they get oxygen. Keep the water temperature comfortable. So they got to be at a comfortable water temperature. That's when you may have to add ice or whatever. That's what happened the other day. If we're getting enough oxygen, what not to do, don't put a bunch of them in there, and then don't use harsh chemicals or cleaners. Okay, and then right there, what to do with the dead bait, you just take them out, the dead bait, just dispose of them. Because what happens, and birds are going to get them. So anyway, just want to go over that. Just make sure you know a couple little pointers on it. I know a lot of you already know that kind of stuff. Okay, I'll move on along. Mom, this school has started. I didn't mention this earlier. School has started most all over the place. In Bay County yesterday, and several other counties started, and most of them have started. Be careful driving and all. I know everybody's been all over the news. Be careful around these buses. Don't speed, and it's been interesting, the different things have been used to slow people down, but the big yellow bus do that. But a lot of older kids graduated going off to college, and I just want to share this with you because a lot of y'all know Wendy and Walter, and she put a post on, sort of tugged at my heart, and I know a lot of y'all know her and watch your kids grow up. I just want to I'm going to put her post on Facebook. I just want to share it with you right here. For the first time in 22 years, Walter and I do not have a child living under our roof. Ashley headed back to Oxford today. Mason's already up there and Whitney is settled in a new home. How can a heart be so full of grief and joy at the same time? So her kids have all gone off, and it's the first time in 22 years, and it's been rough on her. She's called us a couple times, and moms are doing that. I know a lot of you moms, I read it, I've heard from some of y'all, it's a tough time, but you know, you raise them right and all, they're going to always come back and see you and all, but and when you love your family, it's been tough and all. Another thing I wanted to, and luckily the kids, they love the outdoors and do a lot of good things like this. Okay, now I want to show Hunter Ray. Hunter Ray is a fishing guide over in Choctawhatchee Bay. He lost a family member to a bacteria infection a couple years ago, a little while back, and he posted this right here. This is just a story of, and I read about it. Appreciate everyone taking a minute of your day to say a prayer for this young man. And he and his family were in town a couple weeks ago and fished with me. Sometime while they were here, they contracted a very rare bacteria from the water. And now he's very sick. A little boy there, his name Madden. And I checked up on him, went to his mom's site, and he's doing okay, but he's been really close. And the bacterial infection that you can get, especially this time of year, mainly in the salt water and the base system and all, is a deadly bacteria. And so what I'm getting at, if you have any kind of cut or anything, open cut or wound on you, and no matter what age, it attacks all ages, from little kids to older people, and that bacteria can be fatal. And so with that being said, I had some devastating news. I had Dr. Sunseri I had a little basal cell on my leg this past Wednesday. I spent 4 hours in his office. He was cutting away at it, but he got all of it, which I'm very thankful he got all of it, and they were such a professional, caring group. I got it. His wife and little boy came by, his little boy and I talked about fishing. But Dr. Sunseri was cutting on me, and his little boy and I were talking about fishing, fly fishing and all. So it was a good visit, but guess what? He said, Coach, you can't get in the water now for 2 weeks. I said, what? It's scallop season. For 52 years, I've gone scalloping. He said, you can't do it. And that ties in what I just brought up about a bacterial infection that we all have to be aware of. And I know he's right. I've come up with all kind of plan Bs. I told Gail if she'll drive the boat, I'll put my mask on and stick my head on the water, you know, and take a net, and she can drive real slow, and I just dip them up. That's one plan. He told me if I could hop along on one leg, keep my other leg dry, I could do that, but couldn't do that very long. And it's just one of those things that, health-wise, I'm aware of the importance of it, and it's just something I'll deal with. But it's when he told me that, I just, what? You know, you can imagine how I felt. But we've got to take care of ourselves and be careful. And as you get older, you get wiser. And anyways, say a prayer for that little boy. And okay, let's move on. I got a couple other things. He did this below the knee. 50%. When you do all these cuts up here we all get, they heal up pretty good, won't get infected. Below the knee, like it's a 50-50 chance of it getting infected. Okay, but with this procedure he does, it's over 90% chance of it not getting infected, and that's a big thing there. Okay, all right, let's move on to more pleasant thoughts about giving things away. And now next week we're going to have some special guests coming on. Michael and Braden Harris coming on talking about the Season of Hope big bass fishing tournament they're going to be having in a couple of weeks. And don't forget I'm going to have Steve Rogers come on talking about rod wrapping and everything. We're going to have a surprise for our viewing audience, so you're going to enjoy that show too. So we've got all kind of cool things coming up. All right, let's get ready to giveaway. Tarpon Dock Seafood, and I was down there, like I say, last week and had a great fish fry. Early part of the week here, let's see, Monday of this week, it was Tuesday, Monday I think, we had a fish fry at Southport Elementary. Same kind of group, all we had was grouper, shrimp, hush puppies, coleslaw and baked beans and banana pudding. That's all we had. We want to welcome the teachers back. Y'all be sure and welcome your teachers back, keep those kids learning. All right, the winner of the $20 gift certificate is going to be Dosey Cutchins, and a big red snapper. good weekend to eat some red snapper. That winner is going to be from Panama City, Johnny Harris. Big red snapper, Johnny Harris. Okay. All right, good job there. All right, we're going to get set up for our famous Friday fishing forecast. So we'll take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back and welcome to the famous Friday fishing forecast for Panhandle Outdoors. Coming from different sources and different areas of information, and we'll pass this on to you so you have a great weekend in the outdoors. I wrote down last night, I was putting this together, and I was talking about different locations and places. I just it just hit me. I'm just going to write, I wrote down 5 things you can do here in the Florida Panhandle this weekend. And a lot of places you can do all this, okay? This weekend, okay? Well, coming up this coming week. Okay, you can scallop, you can go flounder gigging, you can go frogging, you can go set up bush hooks and trot lines, or you can go fly fishing. Next week you can do one of those each day. Would that be cool to do one each day? There's not a lot of places, even here in Florida, you can do all those things at one time. So we're blessed to have that, and I just wanted to pass that on to you. Now, I know a lot of y'all are asking me about scalloping, and I'm sorry I won't be able to help you on locations, but I want to point out one place. And I've been watching this place for a long time. I've scalloped in it, and in my early days when Gail and I were young, we didn't have a boat or anything. We just waded out. And I have a soft spot in my heart for folks who don't have a boat and yet want to get out and do things. And there are not many places left where you can wade out, but there's one place that's really good. You can wade out, you can put a kayak out there, or just the old timer put a wash tub behind them and they put a scallop in it. There's still a place you can do that. In fact, from what I hear from the scouting reports, supposedly I'm hearing that this area's got some good spots, and guess where it is? It's right here at the stump hole. Okay? I'm sorry, I missed the stump hole. It's right here. Right here. Well, see the stump hole right here on the screen? It says stump hole. Now, what I want to show you, see, right, I'm going to keep everything right here in the center. Now, you can park. This is very important. It's supposedly a kayak launch. That don't matter. It's open to public. So you can park. See where this car is parked right here by the road? Park there. If you're going to launch your kayak, go down where the green spot is, launch your kayak and come back. But anyway, walk down here. All right, folks, listen to me now. I know what I'm talking about. Go out to the right to this point right here and go straight out in this direction. Or this is knee deep. All out in here, this section, this bay area, this section right in here, even up here to this dock. That of all the places, I think in St. Joe Bay, I know we're going to talk about Black's Island is really good and all, but of all the places, this is so readily accessible. I would urge you, if you off Wednesday morning when it opens, I would take off there. I really would. In fact, I was debating, Gail and I were talking about whether to put the boat in and go to Black's Island, or either just go wade out there. And we were about to convince ourselves to wade out there because if you get out there early, you can beat everybody out there, and you can get your limit pretty quick. Now, the big thing about it, that area is going to be picked over pretty quick because there's going to be a bunch of people there. So try to go early this weekend or next weekend, next Saturday morning. If you want to load up and go, I'd go and get it in. But in probably a week or two, it's going to be picked over pretty strong. And remember too, on the small ones, if it's small, throw them back. There's also the protected area. Let me show you about where that's going to be. The protected area is going to be right here in the middle of the screen. And I'll try to take some pictures of it later on. Let's see, right there in the middle of the screen. But it'll have big old signs around it. But if you do want to go, again, I've showed this before, Black's Island, hit those canals there, come back on the backside of Black's Island, all of that area there. Do not wade in from the shore over here. You can't park beside the road anymore, and it's not safe. So, and of course, the boat ramps will be here at the Eagle Harbor. Now, there's some scallops. This is where I went scouting. My place is right along in here. I went scouting right here, and I didn't find any scallops last week. I normally find some. And then, of course, the St. Joe boat ramp. And of course, you had to pay your money to go unless you are a people always ask, why aren't the scallops here? I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. Okay, enough about scalloping. Now let's get bass fishing. Going to be good this weekend. We got the full moon building up. The brim fishing is going to be good. Fly fishing, the hatching. You saw the pictures I showed. Some of the flies are hatching from the willow trees. So find your spot there. Sand Hills will be good. Black Creek over there in Choctawhatchee, going into Choctawhatchee Bay. It's going to be good. Up all along the river system, all the way up to Kennedy Creek, Owl Creek, also down to Hooper Lake. All those places. Well, I guarantee you we'll be catching some nice brim. The river's nice and low right now, so just be careful with your boat as you move along there. As far as bay fishing, the bay fishing has been strong with redfish all week. Some really good pictures of people finishing up the vacation. A lot of schools don't start till around Labor Day, so folks are still down here with our fishing guides, and the guides have had a banner year on catching redfish. And you saw the one earlier with Carter, that Carter took Keith Band's grandson out, or Keith Band's son, Terry Marshall's grandson. So anyway, the fishing is going to be good. Offshore, they're wrapping up snapper season. They'll be closing up. Now this fall, we've got about 3 weekends, we'll talk about that next week, of those snapper seasons with the commercial guys. So we'll talk about that, and maybe you can get set up with some folks that are going on trips, or one of the head boats and all. If you do rent a pontoon boat, I've got a story to tell you about a pontoon rental. I don't have time to get into it, but you got to have a safe boater's license, be 18 years old to rent one, and you got make sure you have that kill switch on. I've got a good story behind that. But also watch out if you have a private boat. Watch out for the rentals. A lot of them they don't mean any harm. They just don't have the experience to operate some of the things. Now they ban them now from most of those rentals, so you cannot go out to pass, which is good. Now St. Joe Bay is going to be full of rentals. It's just getting more and more of that, of the deck boats, which means if you're going to scallop, you better hit it hard the first 2 weeks or so, because it's not a, I don't foresee a lot of scallop being caught down there. Wrap it up for the weekend. Y'all have a great day today, and do something outdoors, do something good for your fellow man. Enjoy the outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.